Well, now we're really getting down to the good stuff here, aren't we? You know, a lot of people when they first get to know me sort of assume that I'm probably coming out swinging pretty hard against this sort of thing. Most likely from some sort of moral or maybe even religious high ground. And they're always quite surprised, just as I'm sure you probably will be, to find out that I actually find plenty right here in God's Word to support an idea that I think is about time to be put up on the table. That when it comes to same-gender attractions and even orientations, I think God actually rules these in for some people. And to any of you who would sit in judgment of that statement, I'd just like to say with all due respect, who do you think you are? I mean, seriously, and who placed you in a position of being able to make that call? And for that matter, when did somebody's personal feelings become a part of any moral compass to begin with? I happen to enjoy listening to really loud, heavy rock music. Maybe you prefer country. Does that make me any better of a person than you? Well, obviously yes, of course it does. Okay, I'm just kidding with you on that. But I'm not kidding about my larger point, which is that different people have different preferences, that's all. In the Old Testament, David was widely regarded as one of Israel's most successful leaders. A person who, it says in here, was a man after God's own heart. But when he was much younger, he had a best friend named Jonathan, who there's plenty in here to suggest could have been a lot more even than a best friend. I'm going to read you some stuff right out of here, as it is, word for word, and you make the call. If you want to read with me, I'm in 1 Samuel chapter 18. It starts off like this. Saul and David finished their conversation, and after that, Saul's son Jonathan was deeply attracted to David and came to love him as much as he loved himself. Furthermore, he swore eternal friendship to David and then took off his robe and gave it to him together with his armor and also his sword, bow, and belt. Deeply attracted? Really? And then the other thing about giving the robe and all of that, you just don't do that unless you're making a deliberate show of affection to the other person. Everybody knows this. Anyway, for the next few chapters, it goes on to delve further into their relationship to one another, how close they were, how special it was, and how wonderful it was, and how important it was. The closer comes in the second book of Samuel, chapter 1, verse 26. This comes from after Jonathan gets killed. David gives this lament. Again, I'm reading it straight word for word. I grieve for you, my brother Jonathan. How dear you were to me. How wonderful was your love for me, better even than the love of women. Say what you will, but I find that to be highly suggestive of a real, honest-to-God attraction being played out right there. And, you know, several other places in here it talks about how we're supposedly made in God's image and likeness. Well, if He loves all of us, regardless of gender, is it really that far of a stretch that He would put those same feelings in us, one to another? Oh, sure, maybe some to a greater degree than others, but all to some extent. Have I proven anything here tonight? Well, not exactly, because for everything I've just said, there is a counterpoint. But I think I moved the ball pretty far down the field, and if you agreed with me going into this probably helped you out a great deal, and that's a good thing. If you disagreed with me going into this, you're probably feeling very uncomfortable right now, and that's also a very good thing. But agree with me or not, I want to thank all of you for watching. I really appreciate it, and with all that, I'll look forward to seeing everybody up here once again next time. Steve out.